Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So I really want to talk about episode 14, obviously. This is my review episode 14, but man, yeah, I just finished watching this, and what I will say is episode 14 absolutely blew me away. In comparison to episode 13, I'll say I enjoyed this just as much, but if not a little bit better because of certain things that actually happened in here. So yeah, anyways, obviously before going any further, make sure to be aware that this will contain spoilers for the episode, so I hope you guys are all aware of that. And also, I posted my episode commentary track for members of the channel. So if you want to, it literally is just my commentary over watching the episode. And so I'm going to be adding some more stuff for members. I'm actually looking into some more stuff that I can do in terms of emotes and all that stuff, because I know I follow a few other channels and I realize that that's what they're doing. And there's a lot of cool stuff there. So I'd like to do that here for members of the channel. So yeah, anyways, my episode 14 commentary track is live. I do 2 of them a month. And so this is the last one for the month. For next month, I'll do the finale, I guess, for part 2. And then I'll do one episode of Fear or something like that. Or maybe I'll even do episode 15 next month. I'll just kind of add it there. Anyways, yeah, if you're interested in supporting the channel and supporting just what I do here and stuff, yeah, the join button is down below, or I guess it could be up above. Or no, I guess you'd be like watching the video or this video right now. So it's like down below. It's like right beside the subscribe button. Anyways, I just thought I'd throw it out there because I get a lot of people asking like, oh, how do I become a member? How do I become a member? And it's, yeah, the join button's right there. Anyways, so some big stuff here has happened. Some big things actually were happening here in this episode that, man, where this ended originally, I was a little disappointed with where it ended because of just what it could mean for certain characters. And it kind of seemed like they were just like they wrote themselves out of that, where it didn't have to go in that direction. But then I saw the trailer for episode 15, and now I'm kind of like, no, I see where this is going now. It seems like, yeah, this is going exactly where I thought it was. And Lance is very, very suspicious of Gabriel and Aaron. And obviously they're not, I mean, they had to go back in some way, right? Like they obviously had to go back in some way. And so, yeah, things are about to get a little scary here. But let's talk about episode 14 here. So obviously we saw that the Commonwealth, they're just going into rooms and they're literally just killing people. And that's one of the things that I wished that the episode really, I guess, focused on a little bit more, was just how messed up that was, because they were doing some horrific shit in there, and you just hear all the screaming and the gunfire, and I'm just like thinking, I'm like, man, this could be really, really bad. Like if they did this right, this could seem really scary. I didn't really feel that. I mean, I understand how messed up it is, but it's almost like I have to say it. We didn't get that. We didn't get that impression in the episode. Basically, I think if you could have just watched this and just thought, okay, that's crazy what's going on, but you could also just kind of be immune to it. You can kind of just ignore it as well. So I wish that they would have did a little bit more there. But obviously, the Commonwealth, they were doing really horrific things here, and the whole story was basically, how do we get out of this situation, right? And we do see some stuff with Maggie and Negan. It was really interesting to see Negan's first scene with Maggie in a while. And, as of now, because obviously there were some Negan revelations, we'll talk about that right away, but it's been a few months. I think it's been about 5 months so far, because where we're going in episode 15, that's the 6 months later. So I've seen a few comments of people saying, well, it's only been a month later. It's only been 3 weeks later. How does it make sense that Annie's pregnant right now? Well, no, like when Negan left, up to the point of episode 15, because that's where we see the Daryl and Maggie showdown, that is 6 months later. And so every episode that has gone by since episode 9, we've been slowly progressing in the months and stuff. So obviously, as of now, we're closer to that 6 month mark. It's probably been about 4 or 5 months, I would say, since Negan actually left. So yeah, I mean, that's the big thing, right? Negan's going to be a father. He actually is married as well to this woman named Annie. And they have the spinoff coming, so I'm just assuming that Annie's probably going to die. And that's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know why you introduced this, other than that she's going to be a big death and it's going to be something for Negan to be very upset about later on, right? That's sort of, I think that's where they're going with this. I do think she's probably going to be a big death, maybe in the part 2 finale or in part 3. And I say big death only in the sense of, for Negan, because Negan's obviously a little happy. Like when you do see him around Annie, he does actually seem kind of happy. And the fact that he might be having a child coming, or he does have a child coming, he does actually seem very happy about it. Like he seems a little more giddy and he's smiling a lot. It's been a while since we've seen him this happy. You know, he definitely at this point he's moved on from Lucille. So it's nice to see him happy, you know. And obviously for Maggie, that's it's a lot for her to take. Like, it's really a lot for her to take. And that's one of those emotional scenes that, you know, that I think, and that's one of those things that in this episode I'm glad they did right. You know, the reintroduction of Negan into Maggie's life, it happens so naturally with the meeting of Herschel and Negan, and just that scene. You know, that scene was years in the making, and I loved how it all played out. It was so emotional. Negan says something like, I am the bad man," or "I'm sorry for what I did to your dad." And when he said that, just, you know, with how much they built up the tension and built up that moment, I kind of felt like I wanted to cry a little bit. Like, I was just like, I got kind of emotional, because I was like, damn, you know, they humanized the whole story there. And I think that's the thing that people forget about, you know, is for Maggie and Herschel, this is very real, and it's really hard, and you got to look at it from all their perspectives, right? You look at Annie, she doesn't know Maggie or Herschel. She just knows that everyone does bad things. So it is whatever. You know, Annie's kind of us, I would say. She's, you know, she represents us. We look at Negan and yeah, he did horrible things, but we're all kind of like, yeah, but everyone's done horrible things, right? So it's time to move on now. And so you look at Negan, obviously he's grown a lot. He's changed so much. He's, you know, he actually almost started crying there when he was talking with Herschel, because that's been on his mind forever, is what is his first conversation going to be like with him? And then you have Maggie, who Maggie just thinks Negan's a monster, because obviously she's going to. And she told Herschel that. And obviously Herschel, he doesn't have a dad because of Negan. So obviously the fact that he doesn't have a dad is going to bug him, you know? He's not just going to be happy with it. And especially because of the fact that he's a kid. I like the fact that Negan's like, you know, at the end, he was all, well, you know what, kid, just wait till you're older and then we'll have a meeting, this and that. So I really wonder if that's going to be something that years down the road, we're actually going to see that meeting where Herschel is like, what, 25, 30 years old or something. Maybe they run into each other again, or I don't know what's going to happen. But basically, I wonder if Herschel just goes there and just kills Negan. And like, you know, like, I really wonder if that's going to be the end of Negan's story. He's going to change so much. He's going to do so much good. But in the end, this is his fate. He's going to die here because of something that he did. And honestly, I would like that. I think that'd be really cool. It's very, very tragic, but I think that would actually be a really crazy ending. And that's one of the things too with Maggie. You know, people get mad about Maggie, you know, hating on him so much. It is perfectly understandable. You know, at some points I don't like Maggie doing it, but I think in this episode, what we saw a lot of was Maggie struggling with the fact that, man, Negan's actually a good person. He's actually changed, and she's so upset about it, because she's just like, no, he doesn't get to be like this. This is not fair, kind of thing, right? And you can tell that she's changing a little bit, though. Her thoughts on who he is in general, I think are changing. And I think at some point very soon, obviously in this final season, it's going to get to the point where I do think Maggie's going to forgive him, or maybe not forgive him, but just, no, probably forgive him. I think you have to be able to let it go. And obviously that's, you know, the spinoff's going to happen at some point. And a lot of that too is going to be them, you know, searching for Rick and stuff like that. So it's, you know, they have a common goal there. You know, they're on a journey together. They're going to be both relying on each other to survive. So, you know, I look at that as like, they might have some disagreements. Maybe they'll forgive each other, not be able to be around each other. But on a mission like this, they're sort of forced to stick together. That's kind of the way I see it. Anyways, I wanted to talk about this a little bit more in depth, and I probably will do another video about it because it was a really, really big moment. But yeah, you know, Herschel, Maggie, Negan, Annie, all of that, really, really great stuff. And yeah, I can't wait to see where this is going to go. Before we talk about the ending, I do want to talk about the other storyline, which was Daryl and Sebastian and Rosita. So first of all, Daryl eating the donut in the beginning, I really liked that. Rosita was laughing, and she was like, well, I guess you're really living up to that stereotype. And at first I was just like, what stereotype? What is that? But I guess it's the police officer eating a donut kind of thing, right? And Daryl was like, well, when I ate these before. So I also have to make a mention of this. I loved this scene so much. I really love this scene. And I haven't seen Daryl like this in a while, you know, especially in a scene that was genuinely funny. Sebastian was just all like, he's trying to get Daryl to tell the guards that, he was like, come on, Daryl, tell him how badass I am at killing zombies. And then Daryl's just like, oh yeah, you're so good. And he starts clapping. That was the best trolling ever, man. And the guards obviously were laughing, and Sebastian just looked like an idiot. I love that because obviously the shit that Sebastian did in this episode. I mean, honestly, there's been several instances now where, and I really like how Angela Kang has crafted this, honestly. At this point, you know, after episode 14, I thought we would be into some of the CRM and like Rick stuff a little bit more here. But I honestly kind of like what they did here a lot. Like like at this point now, we're heavily just like, we understand the Commonwealth. And there's been several instances now of these people are messed up. These people are messed up. These people are, you know, and I'm really excited to see where this is going to go, because obviously we're building up to something here for the part 2 finale. And it really isn't anything too crazy. Like there's like this big war. It's honestly just more of like we're all trying to be good here, but like, you know, Lance and Sebastian, there's all these corrupt people doing really horrible things that are getting people killed. And obviously with the Commonwealth wanting to take over communities, that's going to be a big issue there with Maggie, right? So I like how all of it played out. And that was the whole thing of this episode too. That was another instance of the Commonwealth and Lance and Sebastian, they're toxic as hell, right? Sebastian wants them to go into his old like family's old friends or something house. There was a bank owner, you know, they wanted to get money for Sebastian because obviously we heard a couple of episodes ago that Pamela Milton cut off Sebastian's line of credit or whatever. And so now Sebastian's like, well, shit, I need money. So he's been sending people to go in there to take that cash. But obviously he's gotten like 20 to 30 to 40 people killed or something like that. Daryl and Rosita know how messed up it is. Mercer knows how messed up it is. The mission overall, I guess, was successful. You know, successful for Sebastian. There's a woman there named April. She was in debt, and she was one of the people sent there. I really wonder if this is what happened to Tyler Davis. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll have to look at that list again to see if April's name was on there. But I don't think so. I think that that's a separate issue. Just because Mercer, I do believe, was the one that sent the letter to Connie and Kelly, and Mercer had no idea that this was even going on with Sebastian. So, yeah, some pretty messed up stuff here. Mercer actually ended up killing those troopers. I think that was just sort of his revenge on the whole situation. He's like, you know what? A lot of people died here. You guys don't get to live. You guys got so many people killed, and just killed them. And he's like, you know what? We're just going to say it was an accident. And it was just as simple as that. So I really like that. Mercer obviously is a very likable character. And yeah, in the end, it just sort of, I think this storyline just showed that, yeah, Sebastian's just a little shit. I hate Sebastian. But I think that's why I genuinely laughed earlier in the episode when Daryl was trolling him, because that was actually hilarious. So near the end of the episode, we saw that Toby died because, well, I mean, Aaron, I'm glad that Aaron was the one to do it. I didn't want Maggie to do it. You know, I'm sad to see that character go, but it was a really awesome arc. I really enjoyed these last 2 episodes. He made it a lot of fun. Even though he wasn't the funnest part about episode 14, he made 13 really fun. He raised the stakes a lot. And so 14 was just very enjoyable all around. Yeah. And then we get to the ending there where we do see Leah. Leah's the one who actually took the weapons and the supplies, and I'm guessing the cargo supplies or whatever was nothing too big, although we didn't really see anything there. But yeah, Leah is just a badass. Honestly, Leah, out of most characters on the show, is probably the most badass. I think that was a really crazy entrance that she had there, just walking in after she killed the Commonwealth soldiers. And honestly, you should have just played heavy metal music during that scene, just like, you know, as the camera was like going up and it revealed her face that it was her. Man, you should have just literally had heavy metal music there, because it was so fucking cool. I really enjoyed that. How is Leah gonna affect the story? To be honest, I don't even know where I see her coming back into the story. I'm actually really wondering. It doesn't seem like she'll be in episode 15. So maybe the finale, and then, you know, if not even that, like, how much of a role is she going to be playing in part 3? So I'm actually, I'm going to be keeping an eye out for that. But yeah, really crazy ending. I can't wait to see where all of this goes. Episode 15 looks so good. So I'll do my trailer breakdown for that and give my thoughts on my, just what to expect for that episode. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Definitely post your review for episode 14 down below. Make sure to be a subscriber if you want more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.